Hello BookTube, my name is Sarah and welcome to my channel, Reading Category Romance, and welcome to another weekly reading vlog, a bit of a different angle. I just filmed two videos, my Monday and Tuesday video, and I'm going to go ahead and get them edited now, but I removed my selfie stick thing that I used to set my camera up on, and I'm like, oh, I meant to film the opening for the vlog. So anyway, hi, I just popped in to say hello. It is 12 o'clock, I am starving, I'm ready for lunch. I didn't get up till after 8. I didn't have lunch till 9, but this is what the stupid time change does, and I absolutely hate it. It needs to go away. I really, really, truly believe it needs to go away. But I did do some reading this morning. I listened to another 3 chapters of Jessi's Secret Language by Anna Martin, book 16 in the Babysitters Club series. And, but yeah, I plan on doing some more reading now. Now that I'm done everything that needs to be done, we went grocery shopping. We got some lettuce and some tomato and some wraps. And we're going to take the chicken strips that we bought last week because we bought a box of chicken strips and we only ate so many of them. So we still have more left. So we're going to cook some of those and then we're going to put them in wraps with lettuce, tomato, cheese, and ranch dressing and have chicken ranch wraps for dinner, basically. That sounds delightful. And probably some French fries with it. So yeah. Quick and easy dinner on a Sunday night. I'm very excited. But anyway, guys, I just thought I'd pop in, start off the vlog. I will pop back in today. I know I'm notorious on Sundays for not popping in again, but I promise I will, guys, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. Hi, friends. I almost completely forgot to jump back on here. It's just after 9 on Sunday night, and as you can tell, I am laying in bed, like, physically laying here. Most of the time I'm, like, sitting up, but I am, like, I'm done reading for the day. I just have YouTube on in the background. It's after 9. I have to go to the hospital in the morning. I don't have to catch the train till almost 9 o'clock, so I don't have to leave super early. My appointment is to see the cardiologist tomorrow, like the transplant team, the transplant cardiologist, excuse me. And I also have to get blood work done, but I'm booked for that blood work because it's a very special blood test. A very special blood test that has to be done to see if there's any signs of rejection. But it is so specialized that they only do it twice a week. And the test itself, like the blood work has to get sent to a lab in California. It's the only place in the world that does the testing for this specific. It's specific to heart transplant. To my understanding, it's specific to heart transplant. It's called AlloMap or something like that. Allo, A-L-L-O map or something, I think. But yeah, it's to negate the need to do biopsies, constant biopsies, which I am very, very happy about. But if something comes back and it's like a miss, then they will like do a biopsy to double check. But anyway, so I have to have the blood work done first, and it's not like they don't get the results back for weeks. Like it takes time, right? But then I see the cardiologist. So I don't see the cardiologist till like 12:30. But my blood work is scheduled because they only do it up until like 11 o'clock. And I think I'm scheduled for like 10:30 or something like that. So I'm going to leave just before 9. And that will get me to downtown. I should get to the hospital by 10. So hopefully they can, I mean, it's all in the same area where the blood work gets done. Like it's all on the 12th floor at the transplant area. So you just tell the girl who's doing the blood work, the phlebotomist, I think the phlebotomist. I can never say it. The lovely lady who does the blood work. I just let her know that I'm there for that specific test. She has a list of us. There's like 5 of us a day that they do or whatever. And then, you know, she'll like get me in. And then I just sit and wait. So I'm bringing some books with me and all that good stuff. But I am taking the train down because I do not want to drive. I'm just not in the mood to drive on a Monday. And especially because my appointment's not until like after 10. I could leave like a bit later. The traffic wouldn't be that bad. But I'd be parking like so far in the parking garage, I'd be like up almost near the top, and I'm just not in the mood to drive downtown. I'm just finding like the more, because I'm having to do it so much. Like when I only had to do it like a couple times a year, or even just like once a month, it wasn't that big a deal. But now it's like I have to go down there twice next week or this week. I have to go on Monday and again on Friday. So I just don't want to drive. Like it's cheaper too. Like so for me to take the train each way, the train and the subway, it's only $9 because if you take the train, the subway is free because it's all part of like it's not really the same company. It's like Go Transit and the Toronto Transit Commission, but like they work together. So it's like, oh, if you take one, you get this one for free, and then so it's only $9 each way. So that's $18 to get downtown and back. But if I drove, because I'm there for so long, parking alone is $25. So right there, I'm saving $5, $6, $7. Like Why would I not do? That's lunch. You know, like I can grab something. I'm not going to. I'm actually going to bring a sandwich with me because it's so expensive to eat at the hospital. I'm going to bring my water. I was going to get something to drink like for the way down, but I'm going to bring my water. I'm going to refill this obviously tomorrow. Because when I leave to come home, if I'm done drinking my water, where they do blood work downstairs, like the big lab downstairs at the hospital, there's like a water dispenser that's for anybody to use. So I can go there and get fresh water, which will be lovely. I wish they had the ice machine as well, but they don't. I might go back to the 5th floor where I spent my 4 months waiting for transplant, because speak to the nurses and like try and sneak my way into the kitchenette that has like the water and ice dispenser. Yeah, so anyway, how are you guys doing as I'm filling up my cup? Am I that sneaky? No, I would never do that. That is for patients. But anyway, so that's my big plan for tomorrow. Where was I going with all of this? But yeah, so it's not like I have to get to bed anytime soon to get up soon. So I'm going to be up for a little bit because like, again, like the time change totally messed me. Like right now, my body's like, it's only after 8. What's the big deal? And a lot of nights I don't go to bed till midnight. So, you know, I am going to set my alarm to get up for 7 just because I don't want to sleep too late and, you know, end up missing anything. Pardon me. But yeah. Oh, so as I've been yammering away, reading update. I finished a book today, you guys. I finished reading Mrs. Morris and the Ghost by, the character's name is Carlene, by Traci Wilton, which is actually a writing duo, which I did not realize. I did listen to this one on audio from the library, mostly on audio. And I gave this one 3 stars. I did not love this book, unfortunately. There were a couple things that really bothered me. This would have been a 4-star had these things not happened. Like, it wasn't a phenomenal book, but it was an enjoyable, cozy mystery. But there were 2 things that kind of really bothered me. They weren't huge things, but they were enough to take it down, like a star rating for me. I will talk about them for sure in full in my weekly reading update coming on Monday. But I did want to mention that I will continue on with the series. Like 3 stars, and I've said this before, is a perfectly average rating. I was entertained enough by the book that I would like to continue. Like the mystery itself, I was very invested in. It was a couple of other things that kind of bothered me. And like I said, I'll talk about that for, in more depth in my weekly reading vlog. My weekly reading update. This is the weekly reading vlog. Good night. Maybe I do need to go to bed. But, I thought I'm going to try and just read a couple books at a time. I can't do it, you guys. Like, the next book that I have for this list that this Miss Morris and the Ghost came from is Her Darkest Secret by Jessica R. Patch. I'm like, I really want to start that one. So, if it means it takes me 2 or 3 weeks to finish a book, just because of how, so be it. I really don't care. It doesn't matter. It's not a race. No one is competing against anybody else. This is life. And yeah, and I'm trying to figure out which books I'm going to bring with me tomorrow. I think I'm just going to bring my Kindle because I've got a couple of books on there, like the Jessica R. Patch book I have on there, even though I also have it on audio. I always like to, and as I said it in my week in books video for this week, the week that just passed, that I always like to, if I have a book on audio, I always want either the print book or ebook version of it. Because I end up I don't fully listen to a book on audio. I will go back and forth between the audio and the print book or the ebook. So typically I tend to listen to audio, like if I want to do some crafting, like I did finish Miss Morris and the Ghost today, mostly on audio because I was doing my cross stitch and working on knitting on my hat. But in general, if I was just sitting here, I would pick up the ebook, and that's what I was doing with it as well. So I have the Jessica R. Patch book borrowed from Kindle Unlimited on ebook. And I also have the newest in the Irish Village Mystery Series by Carlene O'Connor? I have that one, Murder at an Irish Session. I got that one from NetGalley, so I have the NetGalley copy of it on my Kindle as well. And I also have Overboard for the Holidays by Heather Lee Bell on that. So I think I might bring that tomorrow. A couple cozy mysteries and a romance. So that might be what comes with me tomorrow. We'll see what happens. I'll report back tomorrow. But anyway, guys, I've been yammering on, and I will let you go. I'm going to go watch some BookTube, relax, and I will talk to all of you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Hello, my friends, and happy Monday. Today is the 9th of March, and it is like almost 8 o'clock at night, and I'm popping in with probably the only clip of the vlog today. You will have seen a little quick clip before this of just my view from the hospital room that I was in today waiting to see the doctor. It was a long day today, and I'm exhausted. I'm actually really not even feeling that well, 100%. I am doing sprints right now over on my channel, which is fine. I mean, I'm just sitting here, but I have not had dinner. I had breakfast this morning before I left, and then I brought a sandwich with me today, like I talked about, some crackers and some cookies, and I ate those and I drank my water. I've had like 2 of these of water, but I got home and I was starving, and me like an idiot sat here and munched on potato chips, which, sorry about that, which I probably was a bad idea in theory, because now I'm really not feeling well at all. So I'm going to sit here and relax, finish off the sprints, and I'm going to do a bit more reading. Now, I did do some reading today. I read, listened to, I should say, on audio, Murder at an Irish Session by Carlene O'Connor, I think it is. Cover of it'll be up here. I think it's the 12th book in the Irish Village Mystery Series. I actually have this as an e-arc from NetGalley. Now, I have it on audio because it's already been released, because as per usual, I'm behind on my NetGalley arcs. But anyway, I am listening to it on audio, and I'm really enjoying it because it's very thick Irish accents, very Irish names. It's really, really enjoyable. In this one, now this is 12th in the series. I read the first book, but I haven't read any of the other ones yet. But I read the first book years ago, so I'm definitely going to go back and start the series over again once I'm done this one. But it is basically, they have brought some Irish musicians to town, and the guy who there's a guy named Liam, and he's a professional matchmaker, and he matchmakes Irish musicians together. And he, at the part we're at now, I think, how far am I into it now? Am I at 19 or 20% of the way through it? He has officially been murdered. And he doesn't seem like, you got a little bit from his perspective, and it sounds like he's been blackmailing people, and it seems like some of the couples that he's matched up that you've met so far maybe shouldn't have been matched up together. So I'm very interested to see where this is going to go. Really, really enjoying it on audio. I also did some reading today in this book. Hold on, let me just reach over here and grab it. And this is Rumors Behind the Greek's Wedding by Pippa Roscoe. I am almost halfway through this one, and I was reading this one while I was sitting there waiting in the doctor's office, or in the transplant clinic, I should say. And in this one, this is a marriage of convenience, or a relationship of convenience story. He is trying to adopt, his name is Lucas, he is trying to adopt his 10-year-old half-sister. They share a mother. The mother's kind of flighty, blah, 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 and she wants custody back of the girl. And he's like, well, you're just going to abandon her kind of the way you've been abandoning me. So he's trying to get custody of her. And so in order to make himself look better in the press, because he's a bit of a playboy, he decides to get a fake engagement together with this woman named, what's her name? Is it Celia? I think it's Celia. And she runs this company that matches big companies with charities, and they do events. So, you're a big company and you want to donate to charity and you want to make yourself look good. So she'll, put together the whole party with whatever charity it is. And so, the charity benefits, the company benefits, everybody benefits kind of an idea. But they've been working together. Her and Lucas have been working together. And she did an event for him, hoping it was going to help his reputation. And it really didn't. So now he's like, maybe if I, show that I'm getting married, the courts will like that a little bit better. So that's where we're at now in the story. And I did start Her Darkest Secret by Jessica R. Patch. I got the prologue and the chapter done on it. I was listening to it on audio on the train on the way home. Then I got chatting with this woman who I was, sitting across from. It was a very crowded train. She was quite lovely. And, so that was enjoyable, but I only read the first chapter. I'm gonna try and pick it up a little bit, but like I said, I'm not feeling the best right now. I think I'm just gonna hold off for these sprints. I'm gonna do maybe a little bit of reading. Maybe I'll get into the next chapter of that book. There's about 10 more minutes left in this sprint, or 15 more minutes. So maybe I'll try and get another chapter finished in that book. And yeah, then we'll see what else I might read tonight. But that's all I have to share with you guys right now. Sorry, today has been a little bit quiet. Everything went super well at my doctor's office, or with my appointment. He said it's called your TAC level, TAC, and it's a blood test that's done. And it's testing basically the amount of anti-rejection medicine in your body, and they want it at a certain level, right? If it's too high, it can cause cancer. if it's too low, it can cause rejection. So you're looking for that healthy balance. And mine's been really good for the last little while. And if that's the case, then when they get the levels back from my blood work done today, it usually takes a couple days for those levels to come back. Then he's looking at reducing one of my anti-rejection medicines, which is fantastic because it's one that's like really, really hard on your stomach. So that will be fantastic. I'm only losing 2 pills a day. Like I take 4. If you guys watched my last vlog, I showed me putting my pills together. They're the ones in the silver packets that you have to pop the packets out. So, or pop the pills out of those little, like, blister packs, I guess you would call it. So instead of taking 4 pills twice a day, I'd be taking 3 pills twice a day, which doesn't sound like a big deal, but it is. So I'm happy about that. And he also said that he's kind of hopeful. Now, he's not a liver doctor. He was very adamant in saying, he's like, I am a cardiologist, he says. My organ of choice is the heart. He says, I'm leaving this up to your, hepatologist, which is the liver doctor. But he says, from the sounds of it, he says he thinks my liver might be getting better. And I'm like, can it get better? And he's like, again, he said, he goes, I'm not gonna, but he goes, wait to talk to, obviously, the doctor when I talk to her at the end of April. But he said, it sounds like, he goes, the main reason we were doing all this is because we were wondering why your liver was taking so long to recover. Like, other people like me, I guess, who had my condition, who had this Fontan-related liver disease, which is what I have, their livers have kind of bounced back, gotten better, aren't as bad as mine. Like at the 1 year mark is when they see the change starting to happen, whereas I've been 1.5 years since transplant. So why am I still dealing with this? But that's what all this is really trying to figure out as well. So I'm cautiously hopeful. Clearly he's seen this before. I'm not the first patient to have this. So, yeah. But anyway, guys, that's it. I'll let you go. I'm going to read another chapter maybe in this book and relax. And I think after sprint tonight, I'm going to have a nice hot bubble bath because that always makes me feel better when I'm not feeling well. And I think also it was last night I didn't get any sleep and then I was out all day today. And anyway, tomorrow will be a nice relaxing day at home and I'm really looking forward to it. So I'll talk to you guys then. Bye. Hello, my friends, and happy Tuesday. Today is the 10th of March and it is about 2:30 in the afternoon. So I thought I'd pop in with an update. I'm feeling kind of tired and stuff today. The week after the time change, when we fall back, or when we spring forward, always messes me up. I always feel extra tired and stuff, but I made it a bit of a goal that I want to start getting up a bit earlier. So typically, before, everything happened, I would typically get up around 6:30, when I was working, and even on the weekends, I would still get up relatively early. And stuff, yeah. And even at hospital, when I was in hospital living there for the 4 months, I would be on a schedule and I got up, because the shift change happened at 7 and I like to be up and dressed and have my bed made. Yes, I got up every morning and I made my bed and I got dressed as well as I possibly could. I couldn't shower every day and I wasn't wearing gowns all the time, in case you're curious. I wasn't wearing a hospital gown constantly. It was mostly track pants, sweatpants, leggings and big t-shirts is what I was wearing around the hospital all the time. So I would get dressed, wash my face, brush my teeth, things like that, make the bed, and then shift change happened around 7 a.m. And my nurse, whoever my nurse was for the day would typically come in around 7:30 and they check your blood pressure. They would do your temperature, your vital signs, basically ask how your night was, stuff like that. And then lunch would get to lunch. Breakfast would get served around 8. It was very, the one thing I liked about the hospital was, it was, military precision, most of the time for, what was going on and when things would happen. So, I would, make sure I was up and ready to go by the time I saw my nurse at 7:30. And they always knew, after, the first 2 weeks, they knew that here I was, on a schedule. I was getting myself up. I was getting dressed, brushing my teeth, making my bed. And that they would almost come and see me first because I was usually the easiest to deal with because it was quick and straightforward. Check my blood pressure, ask me a couple questions, make a few notes, and then you can move on to the other patients who might need a little bit more time and care, right? So then I would go down for my coffee and I would get my Timmy's coffee And before I did that, I usually recorded my little video. If you guys used to watch me back then I go get my coffee and then I come back and have my breakfast. And I like to do that. And I've fallen out of that routine over the last year and a half. Like, I was back into the routine when I was working, which was great. But now that I've been off work since October, I've fallen out of routine. And from the sounds of it, I'm hopeful. According to my doctor, it looks like I might be able to get back to work by like end of April, early May, which would actually be great. But in the meantime, I do kind of want to get myself back into a bit of a routine. So I've been trying to get up, by like 7 o'clock and stuff like that. So yeah, but anyway, this time change, all that to say that this time change is completely throwing me off. This might not have been the best week to choose to start trying to get back into some sort of a routine. But anyway, got up, showered, dressed, all the things this morning. Garrett and I went to the grocery store. We had to pick up a couple things. We are going to get takeout tonight for dinner. Because we didn't do it for my birthday last week. But we're going to do it tonight. So I'm very, very excited about that. I think we're going to get Swiss Chalet, which my Canadian friends are going to laugh. So Swiss Chalet, for my American friends, is a place that does rotisserie chicken. It is what they are known for. They've been around since like the 60s. Their food is phenomenal. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Especially the chalet sauce. It's like the best thing ever. It's like this dipping sauce. I can't even describe it, but it's delicious. All these lovely seasonings in it. However, right now they've got like a seafood thing going on. So like you can get chicken and shrimp, or you can get like, they have fish and chips. And I said to Garrett, I might get fish and chips. He's like, then why are we going to Swiss Chalet? If you're not getting the chicken, why are you? But then on the other hand, he made a very good point. So maybe I will get the chicken. I think I usually get chicken and fries, but the fries, like, they give you so many French fries. But they have a new rice pilaf, and I do love a good rice. So chicken and rice, that sounds like a really good dinner. So I think I might get that. And then I might get an extra treat. And they also have pie. And I might get a slice of lemon meringue pie. Or I might see if Garrett will come with me over to Dairy Queen later to get a dipped cone. Maybe the dipped cone. I think I'd rather that. I will report back at some point. Anyway, went to the grocery store, picked up a few things, came home. Oh my gosh, guys. I love stuffed toys. I am 47 years old and I love stuffed animals and I don't care. Right now, for those of you who don't know, I don't know if I ever mentioned this, and this is a thing, like, we're not far from the only married couple, or couple in a relationship to do this, but we do not share a room. Like, we don't actually sleep in the same bed most nights, because years ago, Garrett weighed more than he does now, and he snored, and he started sleeping on the couch, and that has just continued, like, over the last 5, 6, 7 years, like, and it's fine. Like, so this room up here is basically like my room in a way, and he's down in the basement with, I mean, it sounds strange to some people, but it works for us. And also the fact that, we don't have a lot of space up here. We want a bigger bed. That's the thing, right? For like the two of us, because it's sometimes not just us. Those of you with animals will understand. There are cats, and the cats will join. So then all of a sudden now you've got like 5 beings in a bed trying to sleep, and it just does not work. So anyway, when we move, we're going to hopefully get like a king size bed or something like that. And then hopefully we can change the pattern. But anyway, as it's been, so I am the only one up here. So I do have a stuffed animal collection, and it's getting worse. Garrett's like, where are these going to go when we move? And I'm like, well, I'm going to have a separate area for my books. Like, that's one of the things that we'll be looking for when we move. And I'm going to just I'm stopping buying as many of them now. But we were at Walmart today. And you guys know the Squishimals? The Squishimal stuffed toys? I kind of sort of love them. And I have a couple of them. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6 or 7 of them. And most of them are the ones that are like relative, like they're the size of my head. Like, hold on. Like, I have a squish one. A squish. I have a stitch one. So, like, they're this big, right? They're these little stuffy. And the reason I have them is because I got one when I came out of hospital. And a lot of times for people who have had heart surgery, the place will give you like a pillow, like a heart pillow, because when you're first sitting up and stuff like that, you have to hold a pillow to your chest because your chest has been cracked open, and hold like the thing and then like to sit up. And I was actually using one of these guys because they were perfect size for that. It was actually this guy. I'd had him. And Garrett brought him to me from the hospital, and he was perfect to be able to hold when I would sit up, right? So I started kind of collecting these guys. And we were at Walmart today, and they had a bin of them for Easter, and they were $30. I'm like, I refuse. All these ones that I buy are always on sale. I absolutely refuse to spend $30 on a stuffed animal because I'm not 5 or I'm not 7. I'm 47. But I saw this one guy, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure I saw him on sale last week, but he's in the bin that says $30. So we put him in the cart. We were walking around Walmart, and we came to one of the price check things, and sure as heck, he was only $8. Can I show you guys? I gotta show you guys. Oh my gosh. Ignore the mess that's on my side table. Okay, hi Presley. He's bigger than Presley, okay? He's bigger than Presley. Look at this. Look at the size of him. $8. He was $8. But he's got a heart too. A new heart, it looks like. But he was obviously a Valentine's Day Squishable that didn't sell. But how freaking cute is he? I had to have him. Like, even just to lean against, like, as, like, a book buddy. Like, you know, to lean against, to sit in the bed. He's huge, guys. He's absolutely, this is ridiculous. He sat in the cart the whole time that we were grocery shopping. Anyway, so that's what I got. But yeah, anyway, let's give you guys a bit of let me sit back here. A reading update. So, I finished a book this morning. I finished reading, Jessi's Secret Language by Ann M. Martin, the 16th book in the Babysitters Club series. I gave it 3.5 stars. In this one, Jessi starts babysitting for a new family, and the son is deaf, profoundly deaf, and she learns sign language to communicate with him. And the other kids in the neighborhood start learning it as well, so they can also communicate with him. It was a very cute story. I liked it a lot. I'll talk about it in full, of course, on Monday in my Weekend Books video. And I did a little bit more reading today, just now, in Overboard for the Holidays by Heatherly Bell. This is, I think, the 9th book in the Charming Texas series. And I'm really enjoying this one. So I haven't talked about this one in this vlog yet. And in this book, our main character, Lauren, she's this high-powered ad executive for this place in Dallas. And at the beginning of the book, in the prologue, I think it was the prologue, or the first chapter, she's on, like, a yacht for this holiday party for the company. And she ends up falling overboard. And when she falls overboard, she's okay, like, relatively speaking. But then on her way of trying to get to shore, her head gets hit somehow, either an oar or a piece of driftwood or something. And she loses her memory. She gets rescued by a man by the name of Rowan. And he takes her in, and, you know, she's trying to find out more about who she is. And that's the basic plot of the book. So the part we're at now, I'm now 60% of the way through it. She knows who she is because her boss at her job has come and found her. And why they didn't report her missing at first is because they didn't realize that she was missing. Because all this stuff happened. I don't exactly remember the how and what's of it. But anyway, so she's been told who she is, and she's having memories of when she was a kid and growing up. But she doesn't remember anything from the last 10 years. So she's trying to get those memories back. But from the sounds of it, because she's been talking to people she worked with and looking into stuff, that she didn't seem like a very nice person. Like, she wasn't overtly mean, but, like, she was trying to, like, take this guy away from his girlfriend, and she didn't seem like she made a lot of money, but she didn't seem very generous with her money. To me, it's now working into a bit more also of a Christmas Carol type vibe, where this person is going to redeem themselves over the Christmas holidays, much like Scrooge, you know, kind of change her ways kind of an idea. Like, she ends up calling her assistant at work, or her secretary, or whatever you want to call the girl. And the girl's been working with her for 5 years. She only calls her Mrs. Martinez, I think is her last name. And it's like, she's not allowed to, like, they don't engage in any they don't chat. She's only taken the girl out once for lunch. You know, she just doesn't seem like she doesn't have any friends. Like, work is her entire life. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but she wants to change. She doesn't want to be that person. That's kind of not the way she was raised. And that's what I'm getting. But again, I'm very much getting, a Christmas Carol vibes from it. So I am really enjoying this one very, very much. And yeah, so like I said, I'm about 60% of the way through it now, but that's where I am for an update for today. I will probably check in later. Bye, guys. Hello friends, it is like 8:30 at night, and I am coming to you with another reading update. I finally picked up a book again. Garrett and I ended up going out because both of us were kind of sitting here falling asleep a little bit. And so I said, let's go out and take a drive. So we went to the Value Village, the next town over actually, and I bought a couple books. So I completely forgot they're down over there. What I'll do is I'll show them to you guys tomorrow when I can actually sit down and properly put my camera in the tripod so I can show you guys the books better. But yeah, we did that. We did get dinner. I did end up getting the fish. I liked it. The only mistake that I made was that I decided to try their new rice pilaf, and it was okay, but the problem was that we got food to go. So like I pre-ordered it, we went and picked it up, and then and brought it home. The fish was perfect, but the rice, I guess, was like, it went into the box hot, and it was like really clumpy and kind of gross. I should have gone with french fries, but regardless, it was 2 big pieces of fish, and I ate both pieces, so clearly I was hungry, so that's a good thing. But anyway, like I said, another quick reading update. I started another book. I started the next book in the Crow of Hunter series, Heart of Evil by Heather Graham. I am through the first chapter, so that's how far I am. I do have this also from Audible, so I will be tandem reading and listening to it. But instead of me trying to describe what this one is about, I thought I'd just read the back for you guys, okay? So, emerging from the bayou like an apparition, Donegal Plantation is known for its unsurpassed dining, captivating atmosphere, haunting legends, and now a corpse swinging from the marble angel that marks its cemetery's most majestic vault. A corpse discovered in nearly the same situation as that of Marshall Donegal, the patriarch killed in a skirmish just before the Civil War. Desperate for help, traditional criminologists could never provide, plantation heiress Ashley turns to an elite team of paranormal investigators who blend hard forensics with rare, often inexplicable intuition. Among the crew of hunters is an old flame, Jake Mallory, a gifted musician with a talent for stretching far beyond the realm of the physical, and a few dark ghosts of his own. The evil the team unveils has the power to shake the plantation to its very core. Jake and Ashley are forced to risk everything to unravel the secrets that will not stay buried, even in death. This is a good one. I have read this one before, very much tied to the Civil War, which is a theme that Heather Graham likes to use, or she did an entire kind of very controversial now series called, I think the first one is called One War Blue or something like that. She's done a number of, Missy is back. She's done a number of Civil War had Civil War stuff in a lot of her stories. Both when she wrote historical, she did used to write historical under the name Sharon Drake, or Shannon Drake. I can't remember. I think it was Shannon Drake. And then a lot of her more contemporary books, if you will, also have Civil War bits in them. So yeah, but anyway, I'm a chapter into this one so far. And that's about it right now, guys. I just thought I'd do another check-in. I may do one more tonight. I may not. I have not decided yet. We shall see where the night takes us. I might just end up reading, or I might just end up watching some YouTube. But I am going to do something different on Thursday. I'm very excited. So I happened to see a news program, like a clip. I saw it on YouTube, and it was from one of my local news, like CTV News. One of those feel-good stories. And it was about this 94-year-old woman who, like 20 or 25 years ago, started a knitting group at her local, like, YMCA, and started with just a handful of friends. And now it's like all these ladies meet every Wednesday for a couple of hours, and it's like a knitting group and a charity knitting group, so they knit stuff for charity. They knit like 1,100 hats last year. They always knit, like as a group, they knit the baby blanket for the first baby born at York General Hospital or whatever it is, and because it's in York Region here in Toronto. And like things like that. And I just thought that was so charming. And I'm like, I used to go to a knitting group years ago. There was one at my local library, but COVID happened and, things disbanded. I don't know if they still meet. I don't think so. I know that there's a knitting group, a charity knitting group at my local library, but it's like in the afternoon at like 1:00. And then I found another one the next town over. That their library, that I'm actually a member of that library as well. Like I have a library card for them. It's the Whitby Public Library. They have a knitting group every Thursday from 7 till 8:30, like 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. at night. And that is something I could sustain even when I go back to work. I could still go to that knitting group, which is kind of what I was looking for. So I'm going to go on Thursday. I'm very, very nervous about it because I like, to you guys, I might seem like outgoing and whatever, but I am very, very, very much an introvert. So this makes me very nervous, but it's just, I just have to go the one time and just say hello. And then, the next time I go, they'll know my face. So But it'll be nice. I really miss having a group of people that I can just, like, to go to an actual in-person meeting kind of thing. I thought about trying to join a book club at my library, but let's be realistic. The books that I read are not typically what book clubs read. So that doesn't really work for me. But a knitting group, absolutely. But anyway, I am rambling at this point, you guys. Like I said, I may check in back in again today. I might check, or I'll definitely check in tomorrow. Talk to you then. Bye. Hi, friends. Happy Wednesday. Is today Wednesday? Hold on. What day is it today? Happy Wednesday. Today is March the 11th. And it is, what time is it? 10:30 in the morning. And here I am. I just filmed 3 videos. I filmed the video that is getting posted today on Wednesday. And I filmed the 2 videos for tomorrow because I'm trying to get ahead of the game again. I always get like a little bit ahead and then I fall behind. And anyway, it's a thing. So I am here to start off today's portion of the vlog. I have done 0 reading today, but I have been busy. Got up, got showered, then we went to Tim Hortons, and actually we stopped at the grocery store first. We only had to pick up a handful of things. I wanted, because last night I wanted to have an ice cream, because I still have some ice cream, my Ben & Jerry's in the freezer. And surprisingly, because my husband also had ice cream, we ran out of cones, and ice cream just goes better in an ice cream cone. So we picked up ice cream cones. We picked up rice, because I'm having... Garrett had leftover chicken from dinner last night, so I'm going to finish it today for lunch. So I thought I'd have that with some rice. And what else did we have to get? Oh, this thing for the cats. So we were at Walmart yesterday. It's a company called Bonkers, and they make cat treats. And George really loves these ones that are on a stick. And they almost look like a lollipop or something for cats, but they're like a freeze-dried chicken or freeze-dried whatever flavor. They have chicken. The salmon ones he enjoys, but they stink to high heaven. So we try not to buy those. But anyway, they had this, it looked like an egg, and it had little cat ears. And it came with a toy and a bunch of treats. So we bought it yesterday for George, and Missy stole the toy. So we went back and got another one for George, which I'm sure Missy is going to steal the toy again. But anyway, so we did all that this morning. Today for dinner, I think we talked about it. It's a really rainy day today, you guys. Like, it was thundering and lightning this morning when I first woke up. Very dark, very dreary outside. It's a day that Garrett and I just want to spend inside. And neither one of us really feels like cooking. And I have a coupon for a free submarine sandwich. So like a sub-hero sandwich, whatever you call it in your part of the world or part of the country. So I think we're going to do that for dinner tonight. So we only have to buy his, which will only be like $10 or something. So to me, completely affordable. You know, what we would have spent buying stuff for dinner, about the same. Anyway, we're being lazy today. Tomorrow we're going to be better and we're going to cook stuff. But I'm sitting down here today because I want to share with you the books that I bought yesterday, because I did tell you that I went to the thrift store yesterday and bought 15 books, and I thought I would sit down and share them with you, and I'm super, super excited. So yay. I don't remember what I all bought, so this is going to be real fun, you guys, so buckle in. I was really thrilled because there's a lot of Harlequin American romance, and I don't see those very often in thrift stores anymore, at least in my neck of the woods, so yay. So we've got American romance, we've got some presents novels, some silhouette romance, which was very exciting, and a couple of my childhood books, which is also, I was thrilled to find the one of them. Like, I actually went, oh my gosh, and snagged it immediately off the shelf, as if there were 10 other people behind me who were going to grab at the same book. But I was super happy to get my hands on it. So the first one we have here, I love the cover on this one. We have Snow Bride by Marjorie Hilton. This is number 357 in the Harlequin Presents series. Look at that cover. Clearly they're in Egypt. There is the pyramids. Some gentlemen on camel. Oh, gorgeous, gorgeous. This was published in... Oh, I love when it's got initials inside. You know, the people who read it. Oh, I love that so much. It's just so charming to me. This was originally published. The original hardcover edition was published in 1979 by Mills and Boon. But this edition was published in May of 1980 by Harlequin Presents. So there's that one. Then we have, and these were all $1.99, and at my thrift store Value Village, which is Savers in the US, it's buy 5 get 1 free, or buy 4 get 1 free. So I only actually paid for 12 of these. So yeah. The next one is an American romance novel. We have Blame It on Texas by Kathy Gillian Thacker. Look at that cover, you guys. That's gorgeous. This was about the era that I was reading the American romance line, that I started my Harlequin journey. So this is number 1125, published in August of 2006. So this is 20 years old. Yep, about the time I started a few years before this is when I think I started my Harlequin journey. So yeah. We have another American romance here. These are just all out of order. I just pulled them out of the bag. We have Should Have Been a Cowboy by Charlotte Douglas. This is part of the A Place to Call Home series. This was somebody's collection because there was like, I'd say at least a half a dozen of these sitting on the shelf together. And this is number 1128, also from August of 06. So I'm guessing that at the time they might have been getting a subscription. So, you know, probably all of them were on the shelf. I don't know if I grabbed all of them. I just grabbed the ones that looked the best to me because I didn't have a ton of money. I only had so much. And, you know, you've got to kind of limit yourself a little bit. So, yeah, but I got that one. And then I got, this is another Presents novel. We have Deadline for Love by Leah Michaels. This is number 811 in the line. Look at that cover. Oh, this is delightful. This one was originally published in... original hardcover published in 1985 by Mills and Boon, and this edition was published in August of 1985 by Harlequin Presents. I love the fact that the Mills and Boon published these on hardcover. I would love to get my hands on some of those old hardcovers for my collection. That would be a delight. Next, we have a childhood book. We have a couple childhood books I'm going to show you guys. I may or may not have this one. I do not know. But the fact is they only had like the one, and I thought it was $1.99. I might as well grab it. If it turns out I have it, then so be it. You know, that was part of something else that was ripped. So the original owner's name is in the front here. So this is Nancy Drew Files, case number 25, Rich and Dangerous by Carolyn Keene. This was originally published in 1988. So there we go. Oh, this was my Nancy Drew, not the yellow spines. This was my Nancy Drew. The 1980s Nancy Drew. The next one is, speaking of, this book has been through the ringer, but somebody was trying to sell it somewhere because they were trying to sell it for 50 cents. I feel gypped. I bought it for $1.79. But this is a Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew and Hardy Boys super mystery. So they did these during the 80s and 90s where they would team up Nancy Drew with the Hardy Boys, and they went on, like, they were, so, sorry for reaching. So as you can see, they're much thicker novels, right? So they were like more of a novel for the kids, if you will. And this is called Desperate Measures. And these were supposedly written by Carolyn Keene. You know that was a pseudonym, right? But yeah. America's top teen detectives team up to infiltrate a company of criminals. Looks good. But yeah, this one has been through. It is damaged. But you know what? Again, I find these few and far between. Oh, chapter 11. Somebody wrote a note. Don't you love finding things in books? That's all it says. Oh, that's so fun. Garrett and I were talking about that yesterday. Like, you know, he was standing beside me looking at some books. And he was like just flipping through them like this. Because sometimes you find some things in used books that people forget to take out. Next up, we have another older Harlequin Presents. This is Dreams to Keep, again by Leah Michaels, number 835. These covers just make me so happy. And I mentioned this on a live show that I did with Tiffany. So the gentleman who did the artwork for the Babysitters Club series, the original artwork for the Babysitters Club series, not the first book. The first book was done by a different artist, but all the rest of them were done by a single artist whose name I cannot remember off the top of my head. But he also did artwork for Harlequin and Silhouette, which makes me happy. Like, a part of me wants to always check now, like, you know, did they list who the cover art was by? You know, I'm very, very interested to find that out. Philippines copyright, Australian copyright, all characters, blah, 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 Harlequin trademark. I really wish that they would say cover art by, you know, or is there somewhere that I can find it? Do any of you know? Do let me know in the comments below. But yeah, Dreams to Keep by Leah Michael. And this was published in 1985 by Mills and Boon. Yep. Love, love, love. Then we have a Silhouette romance. These are also, ooh, this one's really kind of like, people don't, take care of your books, people. I'll have to put this between some books and flatten it back out again. But we have Snow White Bride by Carol Grace. So these were published obviously by Silhouette Romance. And these were sweeter romances to my remembrance. I haven't read a lot of these, but I believe that they were sweeter romances. This is number 1809 from March of 2006. Gorgeous, gorgeous. This line ended not long after that, I want to say. It's been gone a good 10 or 15 years, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. The next one that we have here, now I want to flip through all these to make sure there's nothing in them. We have a really nice special edition novel, A Home in Stone Creek by the great Linda Leal Miller. So oftentimes when Harlequin had like their more famous authors, they did this especially for special edition, like Rayanne Thane or Susan Mallory. If they came back and did like a book, they would like really pull out all the stops. Like, this is embossed, you know, like this wasn't a special edition. This was just a normal printing of this book, to my understanding. And it was released this way. There's no number on the side, like they would normally put a number. It does say New York Times and USA Today best-selling author. Yeah, I don't know what number this is in the special edition line, because again, it's not listed on the side. What is this one called? A Home at Stone Creek. This is number 2005 in the special edition line, published in 2009 by Linda Leal Miller. Yeah. As soon as I saw this, and with the embossed cover, and like the artwork wraps around, and this was for the 60th anniversary of Harlequin. So yeah, so that's exciting. So then we have another American romance. This one's kind of chunky. And this is The Sheriff's Second Chance by Leander Logan. Look at this cover. I love it so much. I really, really wish the stickers were not right over this, or else I'd try and read some of the backs for you guys. This is number 1152 from February of 2007. So again, probably from that same collector's collection, if you will, or that same reader's collection, I should say. So yeah. Oh, love, love, love. I cut my teeth on the American romance line. They're still some of my favorites. This is the one that made me super excited to find, because these you do not find very often. And the fact that I found the first one made me very excited. Sweet Valley High, University #1 College Girls. Yep. That's a thing, isn't it? Very exciting. Yeah. They had like 30 or 40 of these that ended up coming out. I didn't really read very many of these, but again, for my Sweet Valley collection, as soon as I saw it for $1.99, because I think it's going for a lot more than that on thrift books. So yeah, on that. Yay on that one. Excellent. Next up, we have an old Harlequin romance. My husband was, because he stands beside me while I'm checking out, and like I'll scan the book and then he'll take it and put it in a pile. And he looked at this one. He's like, did a vampire get at this one? Because there's like 2 holes in the front. This is Dark Enigma by Rebecca Stratton, number 2466 in the Harlequin romance line. Again, those covers. This would be Greece, maybe? I'm guessing. Doesn't really say on the back. Yeah, Greek. So the Greek ruins. Yep. Very, very nice. Published originally in March of 1982. And gotten by a vampire. No idea why that was there. Probably some secondhand store does that to their books. Don't do that to your book secondhand stores. Don't clip the corners. Don't put holes in them, please, if you don't mind. The next one, I really like the cover on this one. This is an old Harlequin Presents novel called The Story of Jody by Karen Munchnick, I think. 149. Look at that cover. Like the motorcycle gang, and like, dude kind of looks like a younger Hugh Grant. Do you guys see that, or is that just me? Yeah. Her aunt and uncle, Detective Morgan, the magistrate, and the people who had to bear the brunt of her escapades had never made her quake as Adam had. Jody wanted to say she was sorry, but how could she? Being sorry wasn't going to change anything. Everything she touched or came in contact with, she seemed to destroy. Interesting. It's got the red. Oh, I love that so much. So this looks like it's never been read, you guys. No joke. This is the original publication, I think. Original hardcover published. No, it's not. Original hardcover edition published in 1970 by Mills and Boon Limited. This edition published in July of 78 by Harlequin Presents. But this could be the edition from 78. Like, Harlequin Presents may not have published it till many, many, many years later. That was the norm at the time. So yay. 2 more, you guys. 2 more. Another American romance. The covers at this time period were stunning. Mason's Marriage by Tina Leonard. This is number 1113. Look at that cover. Hello, horsey. This is part of the Cowboys by the Dozen series by Tina Leonard. And this was published originally in May of 2006. So again, probably part of that reader's collection. And last but not least, we have, this one's a great cover too, Crockett Seduction by Tina Leonard, also part of the Cowboys by the Dozen series, number 1083, published originally in September of 2005. There's the cover. They're great. They're just so much fun. Love, love, love. Anyway, guys, that's it for right now. As I was halfway through this, I'm like, maybe I should have published this as a separate video, but you know what? You vlog people will get a book haul. And yeah, that's about all that I got for right now. I'll check in later. Bye, guys. Hello, friends. Happy Thursday. Today is the 12th of March, and it is about 12:30 in the afternoon. And I sincerely apologize for not popping in yesterday to update you guys. So what happened is that I actually didn't get very much reading done. I did read a bit in the morning. Did I mention that I read the first 3 chapters of Marianne's Bad Luck Mystery by Ann M. Martin yesterday. And then I got on to reading sprints, the midweek motivation that Sock over at Bargain Counter Argument, her channel, that she does every single week. And for the first sprint, I did some reading. So I thought I'd share that with you right now, and then I'll get into what's been going on since. So I read some more In a Nest of Vipers by Harini. I'm not gonna, there's her name. I'm sure she's, I just can't pronounce. So that's how far I am into it now. I did treat myself and get a copy of this on Kindle, because I do usually, I like reading from a print book, but if an ebook is available, and nowhere could I find an ebook for this, like, other than buying one. It was crazy. So anyway, the plot of this story is about our female lead, who is an amateur detective. This is the 3rd book in the Bangalore Detective Club Mystery Series. So I do own book 1, but I picked this one up at random at the library, and I don't care. I'm starting in at book 3. So this takes place in 1922 Bangalore, in India, and it is during the time of the British, I don't want to use the word occupation, but like when India was under British rule. And I actually just watched a video on YouTube about it today, because I'm not very, very familiar with that period of time, because, I'm not British, so I wouldn't have learned about it in school, and I'm not Indian, so I wouldn't have, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not one of those, I'm sure it was probably glossed over at some point, something to do with the East Indian Train Company and all the things. But anyway, when this book is taking place, Queen Elizabeth's son, Prince Edward, the current Prince of Wales at this time period, is visiting India, and he's kind of going on a little bit of a grand tour of India, if you will. And he's not being very well received by a lot of places. So Bangalore is trying to make it to be a big deal that he's coming and all these things. So the story starts off with our female lead and her husband and friends are at this circus. And she gets called back behind the scenes. And the main magician is like, hey, something about wanting her to investigate something. And then as the circus happens, he does his act and he goes into this cage and he is actually kidnapped. It seems like he's kidnapped. He's gone. He goes missing. And all these men come into the tent in masks and they start stealing from the very wealthy people at this circus. So when they leave the circus, they find a dead man outside. So our female lead, and I do apologize, I just keep saying our female lead because I cannot pronounce her name, unfortunately. I don't have my glasses on. Kavari. She's going to try and investigate. But then she meets up with the magician's son, who she also met with the night before, or at the circus. And he's like, my father was kidnapped. He's like, and because he said he went to the police, and the police are like, well, he's a grown man. If he wants to go away, he can go away. Like, the police are treating it like he just walked away. Whereas the son's like, no, something happened to him. So that's where we're at now. And I'm really enjoying it. Any book, like I like to say, because I'm such a history nerd, so any book that makes me kind of research some history is a good book to me. So far I'm enjoying this one. And I do have it on audio as well. So I have audio, print, and ebook. So depending on how I want to read it, I have many, many options. But yeah, so I'm enjoying that one. So then what happened was, during the second sprint, the one thing I've been wanting to do lately is try to catalog my personal library, digital and physical. And I think because I'm coming to crunch time now, and I know I'm going to be going back to work soon, that I kind of want to get started on it to get a good dent done in it. So that way when I do get back to work, I can maybe take a half an hour every night or some time on the weekends and continue cataloging, right? Because I have a very extensive library between Audible, Kindle, Kobo, Chirp books, the Harlequin books, the Harlequin ebooks, my Harlequin print books. It's a massive undertaking. And I was trying to create a spreadsheet and I just wasn't happy with anything. And this has been going on for quite some time. And I was paying briefly for a subscription to this thing to catalog, and it keeps it all online, which is fine. But I really wanted a Google Doc spreadsheet. I just love me a good Google Doc spreadsheet. And I went on, during the second sprint on Sock's channel yesterday, I went on to Etsy and I found one. And it's just to catalog your library. It's not meant to, like, because a lot of them, like, will include, like, a reading journal, kind of, you know, where you, oh, I finished this book and I did this. This is literally just for cataloging your library. And it was on sale. It was 50% off. So I think I paid, like, $8 or $9 for it. Not cheap, but in my opinion, for what I'm using it for, it's affordable. So I'll leave a link to it below if I remember to. If I forget and you guys want it, let me know in the comments. Because sometimes when I'm editing these videos, I might forget things. So I sincerely apologize. But anyway, I will try my best to leave it. So I have been working on that. And I'm also uploading everything to, adding all of my books to Goodreads as well. But to a secondary exclusive shelf. Because I want my TBR shelf, or my to be read shelf on Goodreads, to be the books that are currently on my to be read pile. Like, these are the books that are actively on my to be read. If you watched my TBR video for March, I explained that I have a set amount of books that are on my, this is my current TBR. I'm not worrying about any other book other than the books on this one. So I added another exclusive shelf called something like owned, TBR owned books or something. And I'm tagging them all where they're located. And I'm trying, like, this is from scratch. So if you're a friend of mine on Goodreads and you see me adding a bunch of books, this is the reason why. But yeah, that's what I've started doing. So I've added an exclusive shelf because when you add a book to Goodreads, it usually automatically goes into want to read. And I don't want it on that list. That's just for my current want to read. This is like my overall owned books kind of an idea. So anyway, that's what I've been doing. I did do a bit more reading today. I read the next 3 chapters in Marianne's Bad Luck Mystery, which is about Marianne gets a chain letter in the mail and she decides to throw it away because she thinks it's silly. And then bad things start happening to her. Like, she starts to have bad luck. Like, she falls out of bed, she spills orange juice on herself, and she drops her tray of lunch in the cafeteria. You know, things like that, right? And then she gets, in the 3 chapters I just read, she gets another package in the mail, and it's like this necklace. And they're like, whoever sends it is like, you have to wear it, or else bad luck will befall you, kind of an idea. So, and this takes place right before Halloween, so this is a really fun one. I do enjoy it. I do actually have the graphic novel of this one as well. If you are looking to read the Babysitters Club series and you want just a fun, spooky graphic novel, pick this one up because it is a lot of fun. You can absolutely read it out of order for the rest of the series because the graphic novels were not released in proper order. They skipped books, they're missing books. So this is listed, I think, for the graphic novels at book like 13 or 14, when in reality it's book 17 in the series. So yeah, but anyway, it's really delightful. So that's all I've done. I'm going to get back to doing some more cataloging here and then maybe some reading, and I'll check in again later on. Bye, guys. Hello, friends. It is later in the afternoon. It's about 3 o'clock, and I am still relaxing, doing some cataloging. Tomorrow I do have to go to the hospital, so I am taking today as a bit of a lazy day, if you will, just to sit here and work on, you know, my book collection, all that stuff. Sorry, it's hard for me to hold the phone up. Oh, let me remove the glasses because you're getting the light from the from outside. So anyway, there is a column on the spreadsheet to list how much you paid for these books, and I do have now. It would be difficult for me with my physical collection because I don't remember whether I got stuff on sale, whether I blah, 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 you know. Sometimes the books, a lot of times, like the Harlequin books will still have the stickers on the back if I got them from a thrift store. But overall, it would be difficult to figure that out. Now, in terms of digital books, though, it is easy because you can very easily go back in your history, your purchase history for Kindle, your purchase history for Audible, all those things, and find out how much you paid for them. So I was actually inputting that at first. And then I quickly decided to stop for 2 reasons. One, it's a pain in the butt because it is information you got to hunt for. Like, I've got to go to a different screen and, you know, like I'm already doing a lot of toggling back and forth, entering in, keying in information. The other thing is I don't want to know because my ebook purchasing or my digital book purchasing between audiobooks and ebooks goes back to 2014. So I started buying Audible books back in 2014, Kindle books I think back that far as well. And I don't want to know how much I spent over the last 12 years. I really would feel better not knowing. And I feel like you guys would be the same. So I quickly scratched that column and I decided not to enter it anymore. But anyway, reading update. So I did start another book. I know. I always have a bunch of books on the go, but I blame Roxie. Roxie from Roxie Reads. I'll leave a link, of course, to her channel in the description box below. She has her book club for the month of March. And the book that she has chosen to read is Last Chance Marriage Reunion by Catherine Mann, which is the first book in the Top Dog Dude Ranch series. Of course, the cover will be up here. This is a second chance romance between a married couple. So they are still married. They are, and they have a set of twin daughters. I think the daughters are like 8 or 10 years old. And the daughters really want their parents to stay together. So they heard about this magical place called the Top Dog Dude Ranch where supposedly miracles happen. And, you know, they're hoping that it'll keep their parents together. So they finagle a way to get a holiday there. And that's basically the premise of the story. Now, I'm only a couple chapters in. Truth be told, you guys might remember, I have read this before. I read this a year or so ago, but I really did enjoy it, so I fancied giving it another read. So I decided to start it again so it would be fresh in my mind so I could discuss it for the book club with Roxie and group at the end of the month. Hopefully I get it done by then. And I got some more reading done now on Reclaiming His Viking Queen by Lucy Morris. I'm now almost 60% of the way through this one. I'm hoping to get this one done in the next few days. We shall see. I mean, I rotate through my books. I might not get it done till next week. It really doesn't matter. I'm fine with it. So the plot of this one, if I've not talked about it already, I mean, I've talked about it in other vlogs, but in case you're new, this is a Viking romance, if you couldn't tell. Lots of war, lots of blood, lots of battles. And basically, she was betrothed to him when he was first born. Now there is a 10-year age gap between the two of them. So all these years go by, and she's 25 and her father has just passed away, and she now needs to she needs a king. Like, she is now queen of this land, this island that they live on. And she needs a king. Her father is dying, and as she says in the books, the wolves were beating down the door. Like, she needed to do something to secure that she was, you know what I mean, in power and all these things. So she needs to take a king. So he shows up. And he's this cocky 15-year-old boy. And he's like, yeah, I'm here to be king. And she's like, you're just a child. Like, she realizes then, like, oh my gosh, he's just a baby. You know what I mean? So she agrees to marry somebody else. And it turns out, as you're reading the book, you find out that she was very much manipulated by someone who she thought was her friend, another king in another, like, land. And it was like an alliance kind of thing. And, you know, it's like, oh, marry this guy, you know, but she was really being manipulated behind the scenes, if you will. And anyway, her husband is now dead. He died in battle. And Agnar is our male lead. He has come back to take his rightful place as king. And that's basically the premise of this story. And I am surprisingly very much enjoying it. I've talked about this before, I used to not be the biggest fan of Viking romances, but I'm really starting to appreciate them now. I couldn't read them all the time. Like, it's not like I could read a bunch of them back to back. But every now and then having one sprinkled in has been quite delightful. I mean, it's a different way of life. Well, duh, they were Vikings. But, like, you don't realize until you read them, like, how very precious life was then. Like, you know, the fact that they made it out of childhood into adulthood and then to potentially being taken down by some warrior. You know, like I said, very bloody, very, you know, and like, you know, the whole alliance thing with other, you know, and she's like, well, we trade silver with them and they give us grain. Without grain, we are not going to survive the winter. This entire village, town, whatever, will not survive the winter. You know, I mean, really everything was reliant on other people, and you did need to form alliances. And, you know, if you did not have the things that you needed to sustain your people, you needed to form those alliances and things like that. So it's very, very interesting, and I'm really enjoying it. But anyway, I just thought I'd pop in with a little update, and I'll probably pop in later. Bye, guys. Hello friends, good morning and happy Saturday. Today is the 14th of March and I did not get any clips. Well, I got a couple clips yesterday of the cats looking out the window first thing in the morning, and then my travels to the hospital on the train because it was snowing pretty badly yesterday. Super glad I took the train. And that was actually Lake Ontario. So I probably labeled that it was Lake Ontario, but that's what it was. So that was pretty cool. It looked really awesome. Very atmospheric, if you will. So yeah, sorry I didn't check in yesterday. Having the appointment in the afternoon made for a very off day for me, if that makes sense. Like, I'm so used to having that appointment in the morning and then getting to come home by like 1 or 2 or like 2 or 3 in the afternoon, and then kind of having the rest of the afternoon. But when the appointment itself wasn't until 1:30, I didn't get home last night until almost 5 because of course I had a couple pit stops to make. I had to put some gas in the car, even though I drove the car to the train station. But I pulled into the gas station and I was on empty. Like, I was on fumes and I'm like, oh, gotta get gas. I've been delaying it because the prices of gas have gone through the roof. I don't know if that's the same for all of you. Another reason I am not driving the car downtown if I can avoid it, because it's $1. We hit $1.60 a liter, not a gallon, a liter yesterday. I don't know what that is in gallons. I don't know how many gallons to a liter and all that good stuff. But anyway, so yeah, yesterday was uneventful. I kind of hung around here for a bit, and then I left about 12 o'clock, caught the 12:20 train and got downtown. Got everything done for my appointment. Everything went fine. It was just they drained some more fluid. She checked me afterward because I didn't drain very much. And she checked me afterward and she's like, yeah, there's nothing left. Like, they do an ultrasound to see how much fluid. And she's like, yeah, there's nothing left in there. So we got everything. So I haven't been accumulating as much fluid, which is great. Probably because of the fact I'm on diuretics or water pills or whatever you want to call them. And my kidneys have still been very happy. So you've got to be super careful when you're on water pills that your kidneys stay happy. Your kidney numbers stay good because water pills can dry out your kidneys. So you've got to make sure that you're drinking a lot of fluid, right? It's a balance. It's all a balance. But anyway, so we booked me. I don't go back again until the 7th of April. So it's a little over 3 weeks or something like that. So I'm very excited. And then after that, I'm going back 2 weeks later, which seems kind of short, but I go to see the liver doctor at the same day. So she's like, let's book you for the same day so you don't have to come down twice, which is kind of nice. So I've got all my appointments for April booked. Then we're going to see how it goes then and how it goes on the 7th. And maybe we'll try for like a month, which will be great. Because if all goes well, I'm hoping to be back to work by May. So yeah, that's exciting. We'll see what happens. So anyway, I do want to wait until I see my liver doctor, until a decision is made, because in case she says to me, maybe we have to do this, that, or the other thing, let's see what she says first. That's the way that I'm going with this. So anyway, in terms of reading, I did finish a couple books since the last time I talked to you guys. I finished reading The Master of Como, is that what it's called? By Charlotte Lamb. This was the old Harlequin Harlequin romance from 1978 that I was reading, and I gave this one 3 stars. I did enjoy it. I mean, for what it was, you cannot read these books under the way that we as society views things today. Like, they were written for a certain time period, like the very alpha male, the way that female and male relations were. It was a different time. I'm not saying it was correct, but it was a different time. And you cannot judge something from back then based on today's standards. That's my personal opinion. Anyway, I gave it 3 stars. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. It was very much an atypical Harlequin romance for the time. You know what I mean? Like, he hates her until the very last chapter, and then he loves her. Yeah, that's the way these things go. Then yesterday, while I was having my procedure, I finished reading An Unexpected Father by Marie Ferrarella. I gave this one 4 stars. This is a Harlequin special edition novel. And I enjoyed this one. I thought it was a lot of fun. I'll talk about both these 2 books more on Monday when I do my week in review. I'm rambling on. I am actually going to sit and get the vlog edited to this point, and then I'm probably going to film another clip today, maybe 2, and check in with you guys, and then get this vlog up tonight for my members, and tomorrow for, of course, the rest of you all, the rest of all of you lovely people. I made the decision yesterday that I didn't want to do any filming today. I'm going to do a bit of filming tomorrow, and part of the reason is because I want to have a lazy day today after the appointment. It always throws me off for a day. Like, my side is really sore right now. I'm going to take some Tylenol, and I'm just feeling a little extra tired. I mean, that's the way these things go. But also, our neighbor next door is cutting down their tree in their backyard. Now, this tree comes into our yard. Like, the branches come in, and I can see them from my window, and I'm kind of disappointed. It's a big old oak tree. Like, this tree has been here since we probably moved into this house. And in the spring and summer, when the leaves are out, it's beautiful because you can't see anything behind. It's like really great coverage. And then in the fall, when the leaves change color, it's just so, so pretty. I get why they're doing it. The gentleman talked to me yesterday because my mom doesn't really go out very often. And he saw Garrett and I outside, and he asked, like, can I talk to you? And he's like, could you let your mom know, you know, we're going to need access to your backyard because of the branches coming down and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh yeah, mom's going to be fine with this. But they're taking the tree down because it's starting to hit their house. And I think, like, the roots situation, like the underground, you know. So, I mean, they're big and beautiful, but they can cause, as they get bigger and older, cause, you know, some destructive damage. So it's disappointing because it's also the tree that squirrels used to do Cirque du Soleil, as I like to call it. Jump from tree to tree. But I get it. And there's parts of it, I think, that are dead. I don't know. I'm not an outdoorsy, arborist, nature-y person. So I'm sad because it's pretty. But I understand the reasoning why. So anyway, and of course there's a chainsaw going on. Right now it's been quiet while I've been filming this, but the chainsaw will be starting up in just a few minutes. So yeah, so we got a bit of snow yesterday as well. Not horribly, a lot. It was enough to mess everything up, and I'm super glad, like I said, I didn't drive down. So I'm rambling. I'm going to start editing the vlog up until this point, and I will talk to all of you later. Hello friends, it is just after 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday, and I think that this is going to be the final clip of the vlog. I do not predict much else is going to happen, anything exciting anyway, so I have edited the vlog to this point. I am just planning on spending the rest of the day relaxing. Garrett and I just came in from being out for a little bit. He wanted to go get a tea from Tim Hortons, and I thought, well, I can go for a tea. So I got a green tea, which was lovely, but I also wanted to go to the library. I have no business going. I have 14 books I'm currently reading. I have no reason to go to the library, but I want to go to the library. And Garrett's like, why do you want to go to the library? I said, because it's like shopping, only it's free. So I may have grabbed 3 books. Whether I get to them or not, we shall see. Whether I start one of them or not right now. Stay tuned to the next vlog to find out. Look at me giving what's the word I'm looking for? Cliffhangers. Bookish cliffhangers. You want to see the books I borrowed? So, the first one was, and these are all First and Cozy Mystery Series. Be proud of me. We got Booked for Murder by J.C. Eaton. This is the first book in the Sophie Kimball Mystery Series. My friend Stormy is a huge, huge fan of this series, and I keep meaning to pick it up, and they had the first book, and I thought, okay, why not? We'll give that one a try. Sorry if I'm reaching and stuff. I've just kind of got them piled beside me. The next one, this is a series I've never heard about, but it looks super cute. It's called Here Today, Gone Tomorrow. And this is by Rebecca Adler, and it's the first book in a Taste of Texas mystery series. Sounds good. I do like a good food cozy. And then they had all 4 books in this series, and this is one I've definitely never heard of before. And this is Death on Windmill Way by Carrie Doyle. And this is the first in the Hampton Murder Mystery series, I think. But yeah, they all just sounded good, so I said, why not? Anyway, guys, that's all that I got. This vlog is long from what I can tell already. It's well over an hour. Well, like an hour and 15 minutes, I think. So we're going to keep this last clip relatively short. I appreciate you guys so much for watching. I really, really do. You have no idea. I do put some, like, I feel like I put a lot of work into these vlogs, you know, trying to film every day, and the editing and uploading, and I really enjoy it at the end of the day. I am not at all complaining in any way, shape, or form. I thoroughly enjoy doing this, and I really appreciate that you guys watch and that you guys seem to enjoy the craziness and ridiculousness that is my life, even if it's just me sitting and chatting. I try to get as much B-roll as I possibly can, but sometimes it's difficult. But anyway, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this. If you are new to my channel, please do subscribe. And if you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And until my next video, everybody, take care and happy reading. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye, guys.